Hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining our video tutorial today. If you're as obsessed with flowers as we are, you're in for a treat today because we're talking all about roses. Specifically, 4 gorgeous varieties. We've got rose Pink Mondial, rose White Mondial, rose Peaches and rose Quicksand. Now, whether you're a florist, a DIY enthusiast or planning something special like a wedding, these roses are going to inspire you. So let's get started. Here we've got the beautiful White Mondial roses. Now they are so elegant. They have a creamy white petal with a hint of ivory. Occasionally during the winter months has a little bit of a green hint to it because of the light levels when it's growing. But it's ideal for weddings. Blends with virtually any other flower, and it symbolises purity and new beginnings, which is why they're such a favourite for wedding bouquets. They are timeless. So let's talk about rose care, because taking the right steps when you first receive your roses will actually keep them looking fresher and stunning for longer. Now, going back to the White Mondial, if they are a Colombian variety, they will arrive with the cardboard support around them and cellophane. So remove the cellophane, keep the flowers actually in the cardboard support, because that will maintain the stems in an upright position. So if they've been out of water for overnight, chances are they are slightly dehydrated. So you need to rehydrate them as soon as you possibly can. So leave them in the cardboard support because those weak necks will be supported and it will enable the water to ride up the stem and actually hydrate them successfully. So cut the stem at a sharp angle. Now by doing that, you expose more surface area exposed to the cells than if you cut them straight. If you can see there, the circle of stem is a much smaller surface area than the oval. So that's the first thing. Plus the fact cutting at an angle will mean it sits at an angle on the base of the vase rather than flat to the base of the vase, potentially stopping water from getting up the stem. So repeat that with all of the stems. Also, you can slit the stem up, which again has the same principle behind it, but exposing more cell structure. Okay, once you've done that with all of the stems, then remove any of the foliage that's going to be below the water line, and then pop those into your fresh bucket or vase of water and allow those to hydrate, ideally overnight before you work with them. But I would suggest a minimum of 4 to 6 hours. I'm just going to move those out of the way for the moment. And I'm going to bring in my vase. Nice clean vase. And I'm going to add my flower food. Now, brilliantly, the cap actually indicates how much flower food you need to add. So add that into your vase. And then taking the wrapping off the roses once they've been conditioned. I'm going to remove one of the roses from the bunch. And as you can see, beautiful rose, multi-headed, really tight at the stage of development. And once you get it into water and it drinks, it will start to develop and open up. Now, as with all roses, they have what we call a guard petal around the outside. Now these tend to be a slightly firmer, scruffy if you want, petal around the outside. And I like to think of those as being the rose's self-preserving mechanism, so it actually protects them from damage from the other roses once they're in transit. If you want to make them look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, then just remove those guard petals gently and you can see it's already tidied up that rose and it's looking a lot more aesthetically pleasing. So once again, just to remind you, cut the stem at a sharp angle, slit the stem up, and then it can go into its fresh water. Now don't throw away the petals. If you've got petals left over once you've removed the guard petals, keep those, and you can always use them as fresh confetti or actually use them as part of the decor, perhaps on a cake table or something similar. Now, it is important that you keep the vase clean. Roses are very sensitive to the buildup of bacteria and especially ethylene gas. So make sure that you do keep a nice airflow around the roses. Keep topping up the water with flower food. Ideally change it every 2 to 4 days, and that's how you will get the absolute best from them. Now add flower food each time you change the water. That's very important. That helps to keep the vase clean and it also helps to develop the rose. So now that we've covered the basics, let's talk about the other stunning varieties of roses that we have. I'll move this White Mondial to one side. Just clear that away. Now first we have the beautiful, we'll look for Pink Mondial here. Here we go. So this rose is Pink Mondial. Absolutely gorgeous. Very, very pale blush pink. Again, I'm going to remove the guard petals just to make it look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing for you. For me, this symbolises pure romance. The soft blush tones are so perfect for wedding bouquets, centerpieces, or even a gift for someone special. The way the petals form give a luxurious feel, and it's such a versatile choice. So if you're designing something romantic or whimsical, this is the rose for you. Exactly the same process as you would conditioning wise. And next up we have the Quicksand rose. So Quicksand, love this rose. It's actually, I suppose you describe it as a nude rose, but it's got more of a parchment tone to it, so almost neutral, bringing in some brown elements. It's simple and elegant, and it pairs beautifully with darker contrasting colours such as burgundies and plums. And you can see it's got a different warmth to the centre compared to the outer petals. So that's Quicksand. Again, exactly the same principle for conditioning. And finally, I'm going to move on to Peach Rose. Now this rose is actually called Peaches. Once again, as I said to you with the White Mondial earlier, during the winter months when the light levels are not quite so high, you do tend to get more of a green hint to them. So as you can see, we've got some lovely green guard petals around the outside of this rose. Now you could leave them on if you want to create more of a rustic feel to your bouquets, but if you want to make them again look more aesthetically pleasing, you want to keep very much to the peach tones, you can remove those petals, and already you can see we're reverting to a peach colour rather than that hint of green, and it makes it look more aesthetically pleasing. Now the peach has a nice warm, inviting feel to it. It's perfect for adding a cheerful touch to any arrangement, and peach roses symbolise gratitude and appreciation, so they're a lovely option for a thank you gift or a heartfelt floral design. These roses look stunning when paired with soft yellows, pinks, or even deep greens for a pop of contrast. Now you can see when I put the 3 colour tones together, very, very similar, but all with their own unique qualities. Of course, roses can be a little fussy sometimes, as can all flowers really. A common issue with them is air blocks in the stems, which can cause them to droop. Now an easy fix for this is just to recut the stem, so repeat exactly the same process as we've done before. Cut the stem and slit the stem up, and then plunge that into some boiling water. Only about 10 centimetres of boiling water, and then that will push the air block through and allow water, the transition of the water, all the way up to the stem and the neck. Now remove that once that's happened, and you might find that the stem is discoloured, so just trim that part of the stem off, snip it, and then go back to arranging the way that you would have done. And you're good to go. So whether you're a florist working on a big event, a DIY couple planning your dream wedding, or just someone who loves creating with flowers, these roses are an absolute must-have. You can find all 4 varieties, so that's the Pink Mondial, the Rose Quicksand, the Peach and the White Mondial on our website, along with all the tools and flower food to help you make the most of your blooms. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more floral tips, tutorials and inspiration. And don't forget to check out the description below for links to shop these roses and more. Keep creating, stay inspired, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.